Into the session, I just want to give you a short glimpse of what we are doing at our Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell and my role at Karnataka. So I just want to make it very clear because a lot of people might get confused with the kind of activity we are doing at the ground level. So it's our duty and as well as privilege to explain those stuffs through this virtual meet also. Let me take another 5 to 10 minutes to explain what we are doing it here. Then we can go on to the APF and UP. In fact, for Harish and Bharat, I'm planning to include the industrial fellowship scheme also for the session. Hope you might be aware of this, but I don't know how many of the faculty or even the industries who have been in this region might not have such kind of awareness about this industrial fellowship scheme, which is a newly launched scheme from AICT also. It is a greater benefit for the faculty too. So let's go with that flow. I hope it might be okay for you as well, right?
Yeah, that will be very relevant, Sam.
Okay. Can I share the screen, Bharat?
Sure. I'll just stop sharing your screen.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, Sam.
Thank you.
Hi, Abhishek. Very warm welcome to you as well. We see that Sam was talking about you in before. Very warm welcome to you, Abhishek.
Hi, Abhishek.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm live from Jamia. We are having one parallel activity. So, Sam, we may go ahead. I'm in the meeting already. Okay?
Sure.
Yes.
I'll take care of it. So the main agenda, what we do it at Karnataka, especially in the month of June, is to concentrate more on AICT Productization Fellowship and the Innovation Challenge. Before going into this, I just want to give you a short overview of what we are doing it at Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell and my role in commercializing the innovations across Karnataka. Let me start off with the simple thing. What
Sam,
people
sorry
do.
for the interruption. We cannot see your full screen. Your slide, you are just in the first slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do it something. I think I have to share it to the whole screen, right?
Correct.
Is it fine, Bharat, now?
Yes, please. You can go ahead. Thank
I'm
you.
on slide number 2.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. So, as I said before, I'm starting off with a basic thing where we do nurturing and imparting through institutions innovation concept. And later on, those innovations are supported through Yukti Innovation Repository, wherein the mentoring will be offered through Yukti. And based on the Yukti profiles, they will get shortlisted through Yukti Innovation Challenge and they will get a grant of rupees 10 lakhs. And those beneficiaries will be handheld with the state startup missions, wherein the state startup enablers like incubators, accelerators, and the investors networks will take care of those stuffs and to get commercialized. This was a scenario earlier. Now we want to change these iterations with a slighter perspective of what I could get it from the enablers like Bharat and Harish, and as well as with other stakeholders in the society, where I can get some insights. So based on the insights which I have received throughout Karnataka, I'm just giving you a small opinion on it. Yes, I do agree. You invite some industrial people for your institution's innovation council session, especially on the 4 major activities, which is a MIC driven, self-driven, celebrations, and as well as the other activity through your IAC. So now I want to give you a small opinion and a suggestion as well to include an industrial oriented session. Yes, there are certain institutes which can do that industrial led sessions in your IACs, but to be more specific into that locality, I want the local industrial people to come forward. Either it could be from a small scale industry or it may be a small and medium enterprises. It's a standard terminology which government body will be using in their day-to-day life, because there is a department called Ministry of MSME in central government. Similarly, there was a department in state government called Department of MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. So, taking this into consideration, we insist you to take on a session that will invite an industrial leader who can be from a small scale industry. Shortly, we call it as an SSI. And then similarly, I can suggest you to invite one person or maybe a multiple person from a small and medium enterprises to come forward to your institute and to share, sorry, to come forward and to share the insights, what they are doing into the industry, and similarly, what is the problem they are facing in the industry, right? So this will help the stakeholders in the higher education institutions, especially the IAC members and the governing council and those IAC students who have been part of the higher education institution, will get nurtured and imparted. The main objective and the vision of the IAC is to nurture and impart IND skills, that is innovation and entrepreneurial skills in the academic institute, right? Coming to the second part in an IAC, where you have an exclusive mentor-mentee program. So similarly, as I said before, the industry whom you have been invited for an IAC can also be called for mentor-mentee program to identify the right potential who are doing good, especially in terms of innovation, and train them. Maybe it could be the industrial mentoring, what you can achieve through IAC, because you might have funds for that, four major activity on a mentor-mentee. So I request you to kindly utilize the local industrial resources for mentor-mentee program. And coming to the third part in an IAC, where we have an IAC regional meets, Abhishek will give you some insights maybe later. So on IAC regional meets, again, I'm just insisting those inventors who have done some proof of concept or a prototype may be allowed to exhibit their innovations at a larger scale by inviting different industries at one area or at one region, where the industrial leaders and as well as the small scale or as a medium enterprises will come and look on to the inventions which happened across the higher education institutions, especially on the region, where you can attain an exclusive mentoring from different industries who are doing the different products in the particular region. Let us assume it is of Bangalore region or Malnad region, where you can see the loads of the scope of industries who have been evolving on year, right? And coming to the fourth part of this IAC, where they have one 2-day event where they will organize the visits to industries and as well as visits to incubation centers. So please assign those innovators to visit those industries whom you have approached earlier and try to make a collaboration wherein we can bring out this industrial academia collaborations through this IAC, right? This is what we are looking for in Karnataka. Hope you might understand. If you have any queries on this, you can ask me either on the chat box or maybe after the session, right? You can unmute yourself and ask your queries, right? Coming to that. Next, after IAC, there was a provision when we go into Yukti, but this time we have a special scheme called AICTE Productization Fellowship. We shortly call it as APF, where it can offer 37,000 rupees on a monthly basis for the student innovator, and also the alumni who got graduated on 2023 and 2024. They are also eligible to apply for a fellowship grant through AICTE. So the grant is to a maximum of 1 year. I will come to that part later. So the reason why we are taking this APF in between the IAC and the NITI, wherein we are bridging the gap. Some students who have been from a Tier 2 and Tier 3 city, as mentioned by Bharat, where these students are exceptionally good in terms of their innovation, but we may not able to continue because of their financial constraints or because of some other commitments in their family. They may not able to continue their innovations to the next level. So by taking this into account, AICT came up with a very good initiative of giving a financial assistance, that too in terms of fellowship for the student community who might be doing their undergraduation or a post-graduation in any of the higher education institutions across the country. So the gap has been bridged from IIC to Yukti, where this innovator who might be doing a first year or a second year or a third year, it doesn't matter, they are eligible to get this fellowship grant from EAC. And coming to that, once the beneficiaries who have availed those fellowship grants will be eligible to carry on their work, that is especially from a proof of concept to an MVP, and from an MVP to pre-commercialization, we are in the stage where you can enter into UP. So as of now, there are a lot of innovations which have been uploaded in Yukti Innovation Repository, but the idea behind the Yukti Innovation Repository and as well as the Yukti Innovation Challenge is to commercialize the real industrial problems or human-centric problems to be resolved in their locality. Especially in simple terms, we call it as a local entrepreneurial or an innovation ecosystems in any aspects of the country. So in order to attain this, I requested all the IICs to carry forward this process starting from IIC, where you can invite the industrial persons to an IIC session and carrying on to that with the problem statement shared by the concerned industry, and it can be scaled up from a POC to an MVP, and it can be uploaded in an FT. So there's a wholesome pipeline where we can help you out from an idea to a market, right? And once the Yukti gets done, so you may get a possibility to get a seed grant assistance to a maximum of 10 lakhs through Yukti. So especially in terms of three major aspects, one which is the technical aspects, and the second one which is the business aspects, and the third one which is the financial aspects. All these mentorings will be provided in association with the local ecosystem enablers and as well as with the other stakeholders in the ecosystem, right? So once an innovator comes in the journey where they have an MVP and they will be connected to the Innovation Center. So Innovation Center is a new initiative which as launched by the ministry, jointly by the ministry and as well as from the AICTE, wherein these innovation centers are located at 10 different locations across the country, 4 at southern part of the state and the rest at the northern part of the state, where we have one at Bangalore and another one at Trivandrum and the other center at Chennai and the other one at Hyderabad. So as I said before, if any innovator looks forward to get in touch with us for their commercialization, especially to reach their market, they might face a lot of struggles and challenges in taking their innovations into the market. So let us give away some possibilities and as well as with the mentoring and as well as some sort of assistance from our side as an innovation center. We will help them to connect to the right product development centers. And the second thing is for their validation into the real-time environment. And the third, to enter into the market with the associated players inside the state or as well as outside of the state based on the requirement. So once it gets done and they are entering into the revenue or attraction stage, they will be assisted with our investor network where we call it as an MOE AICT investor network. As of now, 300 plus investors has been onboarded with us, which includes various VCs, angels and other players as well. So we will organize Udyamotsav as a pitching day even for those innovators who can pitch their innovations in front of an angel or a VC. And we are acting as a facilitator for that event. And Udyamotsav will be organized on the month of Jan 2025 at Bangalore, where there is a possibility of 300 innovators can pitch their innovations across the country. And from that, 60 innovations have been pitched in Bangalore. Out of this, 2 are in the right phase of track because of their agreement between the investors and as well as with the innovators. So this is completely the mutual interest of the investors and as well as with the inventor, right? We are just acting as a facilitator and as a free of cost, we are doing this event as well, right? And coming to the other part of MIC initiatives where an innovator might have some idea on IP, right? If it comes under a faculty, let us assume that as a faculty is having an IP, they want some support through us. Then Kapila will be there to support them for their IP fees. They have been used for their filing, which might be the 5,600 rupees, which will be reimbursed to their account, right? And in turn, 100 IPs per institute can be reimbursed through Kapila scheme. And it is a very successful scheme across the country because of their larger utilization, especially in Karnataka and as well as with other states in the country. And coming to that, Smart India Hackathon, if any of the student or a faculty might not have an idea, but they are very good in their technical aspects or they might be having some creative thoughts in their mind. By seeing the problem statements, they might have the capability to solve the problem. So taking that into consideration, we get this problem statements from various ministries, and Smart India Hackathon is one prestigious event which will be hosted by the Ministry of Innovation Cell, wherein this 200 plus problem statements have been obtained from various ministries, state departments and corporates, and it has been published in the portal where the students can have the access to apply for any of the problem statements and to get mentored with the problem. Once they get reached the once they get shortlisted and they will be mentored, and based on the mentoring and as well as with the successive stages, they will be awarded with the cash prize. And last year, 6 Smart India Hackathon venues has been arranged for, especially for Karnataka, and 3 in Bangalore and 3 at outside of Bangalore, wherein we experience a larger participation from various states and as well as from various districts of Karnataka as well. Right. Coming to the scope of industrial engagement with the academic institute, I will also like to show something on the screen. I hope it is visible to you, right?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So it's a new scheme which was launched by AICTE in the month of April for the industries, and now we are inviting applications from the faculty members, and based on the application it will be screened and they can be onboarded with any of the industry, where a faculty can be given a fellowship of rupees 75,000 per month from AICTE and a 25,000 per month from a partner industry. All together they may get an 1 lakh per month for a faculty who can associate with any of the industries, because a lot of technical gaps we are observing in the society, wherein the faculties are very good enough in training their students, but coming to the latest technology, there is a lack of infrastructure for each and everyone in the country. So in order to overcome this, we came up with a scheme called the Industrial Fellowship Scheme of any of the faculty who have been across the country who can meet up this eligibility criteria, that is minimum of 5 years of full-time teaching experience, and you should be a regular faculty from any of the AICTE approved institution, and the age limit, which is of 45 years of age or below, which is the age limit. So these are certain eligibility criteria, wherein you can also see more details on this by browsing through LinkedIn or through AICTE website. I will also share the link for your reference in the chat box. If any of the faculty who might be interested in taking part of this AICTE fellowship scheme, they can also be a part of our initiatives, and it will be useful for you to cope up with the latest technologies which are available in the country, and as well as to enhance the peer-to-peer learning in an academic institute. And coming to this, the major initiative which we are focusing right now in the month of June, especially for institutes, incubators, and ecosystem enablers, and as well as with some of the industrial ecosystem enablers whom we are targeting Silicon Microsystems, where through FICCI we are also disseminating those information, and we are also in touch with state departments also. So coming to this, what is APF? It's a very simple scheme wherein if any innovator from a student community who can apply for this, the only eligibility criteria on the APF is to have a POC in their hands, right? So which will address any societal problem or introducing a novel solutions for an industrial problem, so which can be acceptable through APF. And the eligibility criteria, as I mentioned, those who have been doing an undergraduation or a post-graduation, so they can be eligible for any of this. They can be eligible for this APF scheme, and the passed out students, that is within 2 years of their graduation, as I said before, on 2023 and 2024, they are eligible to get assistance through AICTE Productization Fellowship Scheme. And some of these cases where the alumni might be working in some other concern, right? Or an alumni might not be having any employment, but they have very good idea in their thought process. And if any of those alumni who have been graduated from 2 different institutes, they are also admissible by providing a bona fide certificate from the respective AICTE approved institution. So the criteria is at least to have a proof of concept stage. Ideas will not be under time, and the duration, which is 1 year, and it can also be extended to 1 more year based on the performance and how they can take up their innovations into commercialization, especially on the readiness level. So coming to the grant, as I said before, it is of 37,000 rupees per month for a student for 1 year, and if they are doing exceptionally good, then they will be extended to 1 more year where they can offer 30,000, again the 37,000 rupees per month for a student for an additional year. And we are also offering a contingency grant of rupees 50,000 per year per team. If in such cases where this money cannot be utilized for an example, if they want to learn something, they need some travel. It might require some travel to learn new stuff, or it might be useful for them to get some tools and materials for their product development and testing. So all these factors will be coming under the contingency grant, which will be you can utilize this 50,000 rupees for doing those stuffs through APF. And as of now, the 500 teams will be selected, and it can be extended with the another round of application. But as of now, the 500 teams will be called for. It doesn't have any barrier or any having geographical categorization with respect to the state. So you are free to apply. If you are having a very good innovation, then you are eligible to get those APF assistance from AICTE, and it will be directly transferred to the beneficiary's account. That could be a student or an alumni under DBT. So there is a role for any of the institute who wants to nominate a students who have been associated with your academic institute or with any of the incubation center. The first and foremost process is to appoint a nodal officer and to provide lab access and to give away the incubation support, especially the mentoring support for those innovators who have been associated with your higher education institutions, and to create a dashboard for them for their query and as well as for the progress, and the continuous intimation if there is any problem faced by the innovators or if there is any discontinuation with the existing fellowship grant. So it has to be communicated to the AICTE or to MOSL for the process, and as well as with the continuous engagement with any of the higher education institutions. And coming to the next part, what we have is Yukti Innovation Challenge. As I said before, any industrial problem or real world problem that could be more specific to any of the industry, or which could be the most pressing challenge in the society, so that can be addressed. But there are certain criteria which we are focusing on this year, especially on this year, where it's a fourth edition. As we are aware, 284 already availed those financial assistance from, 235 has availed those financial assistance through Yukti. Now we are increasing the beneficiaries also. We are trying to increase based on the reception. So as I said before, the industrial problem statements, what we are looking here is the major pointer that we are looking from Karnataka, especially from Innovation Center. We are focusing on the technology readiness level. So on a simpler terms, we could say those who have done a lab level validation for your innovation. The first process is the basic research. The second process is something you have developed. Either it could be a lab level prototype or something which is of simple prototype at the lab level. So the third process is to build a normal prototype and go for a ideal testing inside the lab with the standard parameters. It could be X or Y. So once you've done this, then it comes under a category called technology readiness level 4. And those who are above this level, those who are tested in the relevant environment with the subpart and as a system, and as well as the whole configuration based on the real-time environment, how it behaves. So likewise, if any of these innovators who have crossed this TRL 4 and above are eligible to apply under Yukti. All these innovations have to be registered under Yukti Innovation, and then they can be nominated from a academic institution, especially on the IIC, where this nomination will help the student innovators or a faculty or an alumni, or either it could be a startup who have been associated with any of the incubation center, can also be a part of this. So, as I said before, there are a set of process wherein we could use for Yukti Innovation Challenge. The first and foremost process is the IAC has to nominate the best 10 innovations in their institute for active participation. So what we are doing it through Yukti is to create a platform for an innovators to get an ideal way to check out whether the problem will fit to the solution or the product will fit into the market, or how they can take on their business to the next level with their model. So all these factors will be taken into consideration while mentoring. Once you got shortlisted, then we will do the mentoring on the basis of your requirement. So wholesome, it is a 360-degree learning process, and wherein we can offer those mentoring from academic, industrial, and as well as from the knowledge-based units. So all these things will be given to you once you avail the Yukti Innovation Challenge as a beneficiary. Then you will be a part of our assistance through Innovation Center, and you will be handled with the investors too. if you are doing exceptionally good. As I said before, the deadline for all this EPF and Yukti is 30th of June. And for industrial fellowship scheme, as I said before, it starts on 17th and it goes on to the deadline where I could mention earlier, right? To summarize it, to the wholesome scheme of APF and Yukti, I'm just giving you a short glimpse of how it can be compared and how you can utilize to the maximum level where the eligibility, I'll keep it remind once again, it is the students and alumni who can avail the APF scheme. And if it is for Yukti, it could be a student or a faculty or an alumni or an incubatee who might be a part of any of the higher education institutions who can be associated in the education ecosystem, right? And the method of submission for APF, where we have a direct submission by any student innovator, and the institute has to nominate those kind of innovations through our IAC, right? And it is applicable only to the AICT approved institutions. It is not applicable to any of this non-AICT approved institutions, especially the APF scheme. And the submissions, one team can submit up to a maximum of 3 innovations. And the maximum team member in any team, it could be 3, sorry, it could be 4 in exceptional cases, but we prefer to choose 3 per team for the maximum utilization and for a good engagement model, right? And coming to the Yukti, the submission method is again through the institutional nominations, where an institute can assign a verifier, and the verifier, based on the verification, this could be goes to the again backs to the IICs, and the IIC has to nominate those inventions from the institute. That is a 10 best nominations from each institute. And if it is a Yukti, all IIC institutions who could be a part of AICT or who may not be a part of AICT, it doesn't matter. Those who comes under IAC are eligible to avail those seek grant assistance from Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell through Yukti, right? As I said before, it is a maximum of 10 per IAC institute. Okay. So all these parameters were taken into consideration. I'm giving you a short glimpse how we can take this as a model from TRLs, what we have it in the repository earlier. But again, I'm insisting each and every IICs to concentrate on the real-time industrial problem statements in your locality and to promote a local innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem. That is very essential for the state and as well as for the country as well. And before going into the complete guidelines, how you are going to apply in the portal, I would like to pause here for answering your queries. Then I can start giving you your detailed orientation, how we can go ahead with the portal as well.
Yes, participants, if you would like to ask any question, please raise your hand.
Sam, can I add something?
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, just 2 things. One is for, like you have seen that under fellowship program, in fact, one team may apply with their best 3 innovations. Those innovations are being recommended by 3 verifiers. But there is no limitation that how many, like for example, in Yukti Innovation Challenge, one institute may nominate maximum 10 innovations. But for fellowship, there is no limitation. Okay, so if you are having 100 good innovations and all innovations are being verified by 3 verifiers, you may directly nominate them or they may also apply through their portal. But only one method should be used, not both. Okay. And number 2 is like Sam already mentioned, but I'm just giving you more just idea that there is no direct application process. We had already given a institution-based curated URL link under innovation repository section. If you open your IC portal under innovation startup and IPR category, like you will find one section called innovation repository, innovation and startup repository. Once you will open, you will find one URL, and that URL is customized URL for all institution. Means, for example, if institution A is clicking, means if that link is being used by any innovators, they are not supposed to select state or institution. Otherwise, the manual selection process will take some time, and maybe you will end up selecting some wrong institution. Okay. So requesting all to kindly share that customized URL link with your innovators, and that will reduce their registration time. Then they have to just submit name, their institutions, like their email ID, their contact number, gender, and affiliation to that institute. So they may be current student, alumni, faculty, or incubatee in case of if they are participating in Youth Innovation Challenge. And they just need to provide one like ID proof. So this is also very important, that instead of telling them to initiate registration through Yukti portal, share that customized link with them directly, so that they are quickly completing initial registration. Another two important point is, after initiating registration, after submission of their details, again Sam will like again I think he is demonstrating, in fact sharing, I'm also sharing one uh, YouTube link which recently we had conducted one orientation. So the last part of that session is dedicated to the portal demonstration, live demonstration, so you can also see it. But in just giving two main information is, after registration through your IAC portal, you need to take two action immediately. One is verifying that that innovator belongs to your institute. It will hardly take 5 to 10 second time. Okay. So you will verify that yes, particular student is part of our institute as a current student or alumni, or maybe in case of faculty, you can also see their employee ID and confirm. And number two is, which is again related to some sort of tricks how to complete this entire process, is, like I said, sharing that link with the innovator is super important. Telling them to initiate registration is also very important. You are confirming their affiliation to your institute is also very, very important. But most important is whether they are submitting innovation details or not. So during submission of innovation details, uh, all fields are having limited capacity. Like you only need to write everything in 100 words. So kindly ensure that they are not using a special character. I'm again sharing because we are receiving some common technical issues that I'm not being able to submit. So don't use a special character while writing any sentence. Okay, and you all know about those special characters. And after submission, kindly quickly assign to the verifiers. So here also, under verifier section also, you need to understand two things. One is, if you are assigning your internal trained innovation ambassador or external trained innovation ambassadors, they will get access through their innovation ambassador portal only. But if you are assigning any other person who is not trained innovation ambassador, either from your institute or outside, they will receive one auto generated email, and they need to complete the profile, and then only their name will reflect and you will be able to assign them to evaluate any innovations. I'm again repeating the same process. You have to assign verifiers. One innovation must be verified by 3 verifiers. For verifying any innovations, we had given 3 options. One is internal trained innovation ambassadors. Second is external trained innovation ambassadors. You just need to select state, any state you can select, and you will find all those names. If you know someone who is trustworthy, you can assign them to evaluate any of your project. So if you are assigning any innovation ambassadors, they will be able to see those assigned project on their innovation ambassador portal only. But if you are assigning any external person, they may be from your institute also, they may be from other institutions also, they need to complete profile first, and then you have to assign them. Then only the all project will be reflected on their portal. So this is also very important aspect which I thought to share. And one last thing is, through your IAC portal, you can check whether someone completed their evaluation or not. If they have not completed evaluation, you are also having freedom to remove them and onboard new ones, or have a follow-up with them so that they are completing the evaluation process. So this is also very important and tricky part. If you assign someone and if you are not following up, irrespective of the fact that that person belongs to your institute or maybe very well known to you, if they are taking time, maybe you will end up missing the deadline. So because deadline is 30th June and it's like hard deadline right now, we had already given 1 month time, and we had extended because of like we received multiple requests that our institute was closed due to vacation and all. So we had extended. So you are having very limited time, means only 12-13 days, and you have to onboard innovators on Yukti portal. They have to submit details also, and you also need to just quickly verify and assign 3 verifiers, and the verifiers also need to complete the verification process. And after that, through manage challenge section only, you may nominate for both fellowship and for the challenge. So don't click on, and I'm receiving multiple queries that I'm not able to see any separate tab for Yukti Innovation Challenge 2025 or fellowship. No, we are not having any separate tab. You can see those things under manage challenge section only. So under manage challenge section only, you may nominate your innovators. And like I said, for Yukti Innovation Challenge, there is limitation of 10, but for the fellowship, there is no limitations. So you may nominate n number of innovators. So I thought share just quickly these kind of things with you, because maybe if you are missing one aspect of it, maybe you will miss this opportunity. Okay, I will stop here, Sam. Maybe you may go ahead. Uh, if anyone is having any query, Sam will answer. But if needed, I can also jump in between.
Thank you, Abhishek. And we gave a pass for
And
resolving your
one,
queries.
Sam, sorry, I missed one thing. Under fellowship program, each innovator will receive separate grants. So we are continuously receiving mail and messages that whether team will receive a grant of 37,000 or individual. So no, if that team is having 3%, all will receive individual fellowship grant, but you have to justify their existence, no doubt. But for the Yukti Innovation Challenge, you may get grant in aid up to 10 lakh rupees, and we are not sending that grant to directly to the innovators account, but that that amount we used to send it to the incubation center or institutions having incubation center. So there is basic difference that fellowship amount will be directly given to the innovators account through DBT, but for the fellowship, like for the Youth Innovation Challenge, the grant will be given to either incubation center or institutions having incubation center. If your institute is not having incubation center, we used to tell them that you may select any nearby incubation center where they can incubate. So this is also very important. And another one small aspect is whom you are considering as a team member is also very, very important. So don't onboard any random person. For fellowship, if you are targeting any fellowship, kindly remember no teaching faculty are allowed to be part of any fellowship program, like the AICT fellowship. But for the Yukti Innovation Challenge, that team is eligible for the like if team is having faculty and students also, no issue. But for the fellowship, don't nominate those teams who are having faculty team members. So this is also very small but very significant and important thing. In last edition, we have seen that people used to force, especially institution used to force that you have to make any professor as a mentor, and they used to be like a core team members. So you have to keep in mind that for fellowship, faculties are not eligible. For Yukti Innovation Challenge, faculty are also eligible and they may also apply separately. So deciding team member is also very, very important. And once you will initiate, like your evaluators will initiate evaluation process, you will not be able to change anything. We are going to freeze it. So kindly be careful whom you are nominating as a team member. Okay, Sam, I'm done.
Yes. So now the floor is open for queries. If any queries you have, you please put it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself.
I think there is one question, Sam, in chat.
Yeah, Hari.
So my college haven't registered in IIC. Can it register now?
Yeah, you can, not a problem.
Raghavendra.
Yeah, not a problem. Actually, I can share you a link separately, right? It's a complete manual how to register on IAC. It's a
Just
step-by-step
one
process.
second. Are they offering any AICT courses? Are you offering any AICT courses?
Abhishek, it is a PES university in Shimoga. I told you on the day, right?
Okay, okay, okay. No issue, no issue. If they
It's
are
a
not offering, then
AICTE
it will be an
affiliated
issue.
itself. I think Raghavendra, I don't know whether he's from PES or other college.
Because many times, like all AICT approved institutions are having IIC.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe sometime people used to like maybe some other person are taking care. So I thought to add this point that maybe you can also check it. Uh, if needed, you can just share with Sam or me your AISHE code. We will check and confirm whether you are actually having IIC or not.
And answering to your question, Harish, I will also put it in the chat box, the link which can be very useful for new IAC registration, which is a manual where any institute can use it for new IAC registration. It's a step-by-step process, merely a step-by-step process. Don't
Correct.
worry.
It was asked by RV University Bangalore.
Yes.
I think they have IIC, I believe. RV University have it.
Yeah, they have it, but somehow they might not be aware who's the IAC president or a convener. Maybe that's the issue. Am I right, Raghavendra, sir? Okay. If he is available, then he can answer. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next query. If there is any query, you let me know about the scheme and its guidelines.
Thank you for connecting to charge.
So if in that case, I'm
Yeah.
so any institute from non-AICT, right? They should be only eligible for UP Innovation Challenge, as you
Yes.
said. Uh, so they can apply through incubation center also, nearby incubation center also. In that case, I believe if they are from non-AICT and they want to
No,
be the yes.
no. The institute has to nominate.
Okay.
So in that case, they may come under non-AICT category.
All right.
Right. For any IACs who can have an incubation center and that too an IACT approved institute, they can go along with the incubation center. And one important concern that why we make it as mandatory to collaborate with any of the incubation centers across the country because of the structured model. If any innovators from an academic institute who might be the first year or a second year, they might not able to get the right mentoring for their product development or for the further stages as well. So in order to overcome this, we made this as a mandatory thing to affiliate with any of the incubation centers across the country. So, and the reason why we are organizing this session in association with Anvesana, with uh, as a leading in a pre-incubation and an incubation center over here at Malnad region, and as well as with we are also focusing on Bangalore, Northern Karnataka also. Maybe tomorrow and day after tomorrow we have a separate session for Northern Karnataka also. Okay, so if there is no more queries, we will go.
I have one question. I'm pursuing my PhD,
Okay.
but is it something comes under this scheme or but I'm working actually.
If you are working, you are not eligible, sir. I think you
Okay.
might be doing a part-time PhD, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, part-time PhD. Yes.
Then you are not
But
eligible.
you are eligible for the Yukti Innovation Challenge, not for the fellowship, like Sam said.
Yukti Innovation Challenge. All right. Okay.
Yes, you can
Right.
participate, but not for the fellowship.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly. Thank you.
Okay. And Prasant, my suggestion is to take on an industrial problem before applying. Right. If any
Yeah.
assistance is required, you can approach the nearby incubation center if you are in Bangalore, or if you are in Malnad region, you can reach out to Anveshana. They might also have some sort of connect with the industries in that region as well. Right. They will also help you. Am I right, Bharat and
Definitely,
Harish?
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Prashant is incubated with us, so he is in the current cohort now.
Okay. Okay. So is there any other query which from any IICs who have been attending virtually on a seminar hall?
Sam, one
Please.
question we have received in chat box regarding verifier. Have you answered?
No.
No, not yet. Go ahead, Abhishek.
So three verifier is super, super important. If you are not assigning three verifiers and they are not completing verification process, you will not be able to nominate them for either fellowship or for the challenge. So three verifiers is needed, and it's up to the institute whom you are assigning as a verifier. We are only assuming that you will only nominate the person who is like having at least idea about innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem, and having like we are all only like saying that initial level filtration must be completed by the institute. And for that we had also given option, like I said earlier, that innovation ambassadors you can nominate as a verifier, or you may nominate any other person, whoever is like you feel deemed fit for this work. And for the verifiers also, like if you are reaching out to, like I am receiving some query like we have to give them honorarium and all. No, not needed, not recommended. If you are assigning someone from your institute, in fact from outside also, you may acknowledge them maybe in one way or another, but they're also supposed to just have a like no doubt. I think one innovation will take maximum 15 to 20-minute time, if that person is having expertise on evaluating such things. And very basic evaluation process is there, like they just need to give them a score, and there is some scoring mechanism, and because of those scoring mechanism you will see their status either recommended or not recommended. So all depends on the verifiers. Here I will add one more line that don't nominate any innovation who are not committed, not interested, not willing to contribute to the
I hope it is. He's having some problems. Fine. Okay. Coming to that, Sagana, as you said, it is an innovation ambassador of an incubation center. Can I know which incubation center you belongs to?
Ms. Jahana, you can put up your answer in the chat box also. Uh,
Okay.
this is really.
So I hope you might be a faculty, right? So you are eligible under IPTI. That's not a problem, right? And you are also as a faculty in any institute, or you are only associated with incubation center as a associate or something, only with the center. Okay. So hope you might be graduated from any of those institutes in your region, so you can apply under an alumni category for UPTI. Don't worry if anyone who might be facing some challenge in the application process, we will share those presentation with Anvesana, Bharat and Harish, and we will also share the YouTube link for your reference also. You may get it from them because of their ease of access and as well as of the continuous support from both of them, right? Okay. So if there are no more queries, then I will go to the guidelines for your application. Harish, if I missed something, or Bharat, if I missed out something, you let me know. If any of these queries will remain unanswered in the chat box, I will also.
We can go ahead with the application process. Some of the participants was also having some issues with application. They were telling that the IIC was not, I mean, the list was not appearing, or there was some error that has been used to appear. If you can walk us through, this application process would help us also.
Yes, they might be coming up. Yes. Okay. So back to the presentation where we go on with the registration, how we use our Yukti portal for our registration. The first and foremost thing is just log in on the website link which I have shared in the chat box, especially for Yukti and APF, wherein you can see this homepage which will give you the name and as well as with other aspects for your registration. If you are coming as a new register, as a new innovator, then you can register yourself first, then come to the login page and submit your innovations in that portal. So we request you to use your personal email ID for creation of your account, and which will be helpful for you to communicate in a better way. If you avail this assistance from us, then the continuous engagement will be done from our end through the concerned email ID. If any of the innovator who has registered your institution email ID, maybe after their graduation, they might not able to get those sufficient information from us. So it is better to use your personal email ID, which is an active email ID for the registration. That's the first process. And coming to the second process, if anyone wants to register through IAC, then once you log into the IAC portal, you can see for application submission, there is a separate link which can be available in their dashboard. You can also use that link to do the registration, especially on IPR innovation and startup as a dashboard. On the left side of the dashboard, you can see that. So this is more related to the institute. This particular link is institute specific. It doesn't have any common link. So we also suggest not to share the link with any of the other institutes who are surrounding your region, right? So once you do this, you can choose the right institute based on the registration. They can choose the right institute. That linkage will be done at the back end. So based on the linkage, your dashboard will be active. So you can see on the dashboard where you have innovation repository. Based on that, you click the innovation and prototype. The last part, which is add innovation. So once you click on this, you will get a separate dashboard on, which is a pop-up window where you can select on innovation and prototype. So once you click on, then it comes to the information page where you can give away all the informations which are related to your innovations and as well as to the prototype, which is a POC. So once you answer to all the questions, you might have to upload some files if required based on the requirement, and as well as this, there is a specific size for uploading also. Just make sure whether you have noted down all those factors before putting all the data into the portal. So once you've done this, you might have an idea whether my innovations has been gone through innovation portal. So I could strongly suggest you can discuss with your IAC a convener or a president to nominate this invention from your institute also. Right? Earlier it was a direct application. Now we also insist the faculty to come and collaborate with any of the applicant in any higher education institutions just for the connect and as well as for the better support. Right? And if any of this idea who have been uploaded in the Yukti repository earlier, maybe a year back, but right now they might upgrade to a POC stage. Earlier it could be an idea stage. Now they can be upgraded to a POC stage. So there is a provision in the Yukti repository. Kindly go there and see on the dashboard where you can see these ideas and the POC and identify your ID. Based on the identification, you can upgrade yourself and make this to nominate yourself to the concerned institute's dashboard where the faculty or an IAC coordinator can nominate from an institute. Okay. So coming to this, there is an innovation application format also. You can also see it on the downloads also. That will help you to create the necessary data before applying into the portal also. Okay. Coming to the verification of at the institute level, the first stage of evaluation, as once an innovator can apply, then it can show you something on a status which is of pending. Once the submission is verified, then the status will be changed to recommended or not recommended based on the verifier status. And if you are recommended, then you are eligible for the fellowship scheme, right? And if any of the verifier has not verified, let us assume if an X verifier has not done this, then the association with the concerned institute, through the association with the concerned institute, you can contact the verifier, IAC coordinator or a president or a convener can contact the verifier and find out the reason for the delay in the verification and try to assist the way and try to assist in all the possible ways for the verification to be done in a proper manner and with as soon as possible as well. We got a call from one of the institute in Mangalore also. They are facing the same challenge. Two verifiers have submitted their nomination and one verifier has not submitted it, because as a institute level you are nominating this verifier. So keep it in your mind, make sure that the verifiers are in touch with you and they might have a very good rapport with any of the incubation center or an HEIs in your region. Okay. And if any of those innovators who might not be in the level of POC or might not be in the level of TRL4, they might be using this ICTI portal for uploading their innovations. Even if it is of idea level, they can also try to upload in the innovation repository and try to get it the assistance, whatever I could say from mentor mentee. So through that, you can also get some assistance for scaling your idea from an idea level to a POC. So that also can be applicable. So coming to the application part, where this process can be tracked and all the status can also be viewed on your dashboard also as an applicant. So you can log into the portal where you can see that what are all the status that is going on for your application. Even if it is assigned to the verifier, that status will also be visible to you, and once it gets done, then you can see it in the view tab also. So similar to that, you can see what is the level of inventions and how it can be relevant to the current ecosystems. All those stuffs will be given to you. So the institute on a wholesome factor where an IAC president or a convener or someone from an incubation center who is having a close connection with the IAC, they might act as a single body for IAC and as well as an incubation center. In some institutes, we could also see that. So on the dashboard, they can see how many innovations has been uploaded and how many has been nominated and how many has been verified. So it is based on the status will also be displayed on your dashboards. As rightly pointed by Abhishek, there are three verifiers. One from your institute, that could be from an internal IA, or the other one could be an external IA. IA is an innovation ambassador, and the third one who could be an external verifier. So based on this, you can assign the verifiers based on the innovation and as well as on the domain as well. So coming to the Yukti, as we said, top 10 innovations as an institute, you might have seen that there are a lot of innovations which has been uploaded and it also being verified, but you could analyze, and because of an IND ecosystem enabler, you can see yourself how these innovations can reach the market and what is the scalability and how feasible it is to reach the market. So in that case, taking all these parameters into consideration, you can nominate the 10 best innovations who have been in the level of TRL4 and above for UT. And someone has asked in the chat box, what is the role, what is it for startups? As I said in the chat box also, the startups can also apply for UT. We wholeheartedly welcome the startups who have been associated with any of the incubation centers across the country to apply for UT and to get the assistance because of the commitment that you have already with any of this incubation center. So we welcome you to come and apply through UT and get benefited. And this year we are increasing, as I said before, the financial assistance will also be getting increased because of the reception we got it on the last year. So this year it's more increase. If I'm not wrong, Abhishek will give you a clear insight how best is the for 2025, especially for Yukti. And as an institute coordinator, he has to verify all those stuffs before nomination. So taking all these points into consideration, I strongly suggest and as well as request each and every IAC coordinator to collaborate with any of the incubation center for your verification. Also, You can collaborate with any of the incubation center to identify how reliable it is the problem they have taken up, and similarly how their POC was built up. Similarly, in terms of their validations too. So I hope any incubation centers across the country will help you out in that case. If any challenges you could face on on this aspect, I strongly request you to send us an email for any support in Karnataka, either to me or Abhishek. We will be happy to help you on this context as well. So I'm just going very fast because of time constraint. And again, if you are facing any challenges on the application, don't worry. We were given all the guidelines in the website also. For the support, if you require, you can also reach out to us. Or as I said before, you can reach out to Anvesana, because they might be in great touch. When I can see the emails from Anvesana, they have sent it across all the IICs in Karnataka. Probably they will also send you the step-by-step process on a detailed way, either by the presentation or by the YouTube link they have it. They might be sent it across through WhatsApp or email based on their convenience also. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
Bharat.
to all the participants who may have the doubt regarding the application of this API or for any other programs for that matter, feel free to reach out to us. I'm just putting up my web address, uh, or you can just email us also. Right. So once you reach out to us, you will be redirected to contact us page. So perhaps you can write down your message, whatever the doubts you have. You can feel free to reach out to us as well. Or for any quick updates, I can just share our WhatsApp link. You can be the part of this community. You will be getting regular updates as well with all the programs. Yes, sir.
Yes.
And final thought from my side is to apply industrial fellowship scheme. Especially, we welcome the faculties who have been associated with any higher education institutions to apply for industrial fellowship scheme and to get the maximum assistance from AICT and as well as from the relevant industry. If you are ready to bridge the gap in your career, and if you want to learn something new, especially on a technology that you might be aspiring to go on. And coming to the major schemes, the reason I just want to quote it here, why we have collaborated with Anvesana, especially with the Harish and as well as with Bharat, the nomination and as well as the application, whatever we could experience in the earlier edition, will be mostly from tier 1, right? So this year, I strongly suggest to do the nomination, and as well as based on the application we are about to nominate the good applications, especially from tier 2 and tier 3. We are rigorously focusing on tier 2 and tier 3, especially this is the second session we focused on tier 2 and tier 3. 2 more sessions with tier 2 and tier 3 also. So the reason why we are targeting, because of the vision that we have, not only me from the ministry, in fact with Anvesana, while we have a discussion, very good discussion as mentioned by Harish, we had a very good discussion last week. And based on the vision of both the parties, we mutually agreed and collaborated to do a virtual session for the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And for tier 1, we are also focusing with the Department of BT and IT, with Department of Technical Education. So soon we will be announcing those sessions for tier 1 as well. We are not saying that application should not come from tier 1. Don't take it in that way. So we also welcome the applications from tier 2 and tier 3 to utilize to a maximum extent whatever and all the possible ways. If you need some support, please let us know. We are ready to extend our support on behalf of all the enablers in the ecosystem whom I have met before. So they'll be ready to support you with all the possibilities. And if any challenges that you could face on Yukti and APF, you can also post your queries on the WhatsApp group also. You might have some idea on IAC's groups and other things. And if you are not connected in that group, then you can post your queries in the chat box, whatever they have mentioned, no? Chat.whatsapp. That is a Anvesana WhatsApp group. They might also help you to take you to the next level, right? Yes, someone has raised the hand. Is there any query from your side?
If anybody have a further queries, can raise a hand and you can feel free to ask the
I
question.
think someone has raised the hand, but can you unmute yourself?
No, I think probably by mistake they might have raised a hand. So adding some thoughts for Sam. So the thing ultimately what we want as an innovation or AICT is to see how we can bring down the innovation slot in non-metros. And when we see even a populations or problems, right? So there are only around 10 to 20 crore people who stays in the metros, be it any region of the world, India. So a bigger population lies in the non-metros. So we have so much problems and so many innovators we can bring in together, Sam and even Abhishek. Both of you also come from non-metros, Sam and Abhishek. Probably we all should keep on supporting non-metros and see how we can uplift the non-metros and also make sure that Viksit Bharat happens very soon and by helping out buy from non-metros as well.
I'm hoping for the best, Harish. Not only with the schemes, to a larger extent, I hope you might
Yeah,
understood my vision as something different, right? The schemes are maybe a tool for you to leverage to your extent. The
that's
drive
what,
that you might possess will
yeah,
take you
that's
to.
why I call all the participants over here to utilize the best from the AICT schemes, whatever you guys are putting down, and even we as an Anvesana and individual perspective also, we are open to help you out in any terms.
Yeah.
Probably ultimate aim is to see how we can build the economy in non-metros.
Yes, yes. And there is a greater myth which is revolving around, especially when I had a discussion around 10 to 8 workshops, which I have personally organized throughout Karnataka.
Mhm.
If I could share my innovation, someone will be taken off. So please come out of the thought. There are a lot of other people who will be good in the society as well, right? So don't think in that way. Uh, there are a lot of good ecosystem enabler which I could see in Karnataka, uh, especially on innovation and entrepreneurship. It is not because of Anvesana. I can sense a lot of people here, even with Hubli Dharwad, with also with Bidar and Raichur and Bagalkot. We are also experiencing such kind of insights from enablers. So the platform is yours. The only way that we could disseminate those information, either by virtual or on a physical mode, uh, and the rest is in your hands, right? Either as a faculty or a student or an alumni or a startup, it doesn't matter. We will support.
Ideas comes and goes. Ultimately, the execution matters.
I'm still rely on that. Don't worry. If there is any good innovation, I'm strongly in that part. You don't worry on that. If there is any biasing, so on, so X and Y, no, don't worry about it, right? We have very good innovation. We are here to support you, even me and Abhishekers. They are on the line. You don't. And oh, final thing, you might have seen a different vertical. One is IIC and another one is innovation, where we do IP and commercialization, especially from innovation center. People might have a thought that Abhishek is doing something different and I am coming from a different agency. It is not so. We both are on the same part where we call it as a Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. And Abhishek is handling Southwest region where it consists of Kerala and Karnataka, and mostly with IACs. Whatever the IACs, Yukti, he will be handling all those stuff centrally from Delhi, and I am here to support you from Karnataka, right? If any query that you want to resolve from our end, either you can contact Abhishek or to me. And if any local support is required, you can reach out to Anvesana. They will also help you out in any of our schemes. In your locality, if you want to know someone, you can text me out or you can mail me. I will also extend my support for those regions. Okay, over to you, Bharat. That's it from my side, and I hope Abhishek might experiencing some problem. He might be in northeast for a school program, so he keeps on traveling. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Sam. So that was very decisively. You explained all the programs in a very conducive manner, and we would able to understand in a much better way. I believe all the participants here, so be it the institutional leaders, principals from various colleges, or industry leaders, entrepreneurs and startups, all across the ecosystem enablers. It was a very good insights from Mr. Sam present here, and adding to that point as well, considering the nationwide policies. We also have hosting one more program on 20th of this month, that is Friday, where the people from state government are coming over to PS campus from Department of IT and BT, Government of Karnataka. So if you are anywhere across Shimoga and if you are free, please feel free to reach out to us on that day. Possibly we'll have more insights on the statewide policies also regarding that, with all the innovation and entrepreneurship programs.
Yeah. I mean, thanks, Bharat, for adding that point. So even on that day, we'll be having some government policymakers as well, and also the investors. So a couple of our mentors are also joining. So if you are a startup, probably morning first half, we are planning to have one workshop on business model canvas. So feel free to attend a workshop as well.
Fine.
Yes, of course. Many a times we would always, say that we are here to facilitate. It is up to you people. How do you utilize this platform and grow to your best self, right? So, very thankful to Sam Rekumar. It was always a pleasure hosting you as Anveshana, and please feel free to come over to Shimoga as well to to have this broader sense of ecosystem. We might have one roundtable with all the industry leaders here in the Shimoga region and all across the Malnad region as well. And when I say this Malnad region, people, we all people across the Karnataka are always welcome for Anveshana. So we are here to support the innovation and entrepreneurship in the region, and we are being present at a PS campus that is located in Shimoga. And feel free to reach out to us always. And I have put up my email ID and the website address as well. Please feel free to check out our profiles also in the meantime.
Okay. So thank you, Sam, and I want to have some special thanks for like Quinn Thomas for helping us out and managing the things with the students and the college, and also a special thanks for a management of PES Trust and all PES institutes, IAMS, ITM, and all. So probably I'm was insightful, and I believe all of you are with us to see how we can build more metros. Thank you. And also a thank for Abhishek.
No worries.
All
I will
right.
continue.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. With that note, we'll came to the end of the session. We'll close the session now. Feel free to reach out to us for any point or any kind of queries you have. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye bye.